All right. I'm going over the lever sketch for engineering 1 for fusion. We had a lot of people actually have trouble with this, so I figured I'd try to make a video for this. Goes over. I'm going to keep referencing this. This one doesn't have a normal video for it, but we're going to use this. And a lot of things that people did not notice is you have to actually count these up. Each one of these squares is actually going to be 5 units. So mine are set up in millimeters, and it is going to be 5 units per box. So as we go through, we can count these off and start actually doing this from the center. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start this by creating a sketch on the XY plane. My first one that I'm going to do is going to be the circle. Right here, if I zoom in some more, all right, 300. You can see right here. So if each one of these squares is 5 millimeters, I can see right here it goes up to 25. That means that the radius of this big circle is 25. The radius of this little circle is going to be 5. So when I go through and actually put this in, I'm going to enter it using a diameter of 10. So start by creating a circle, stretch 10, and then I'm going to zoom in. So if you notice right here, I also have dimensions listed on my sketch palette. That's important. It's actually really helpful here. Alright, so next one is going to be that rectangle that goes around it. So I'm going to do a rectangle with a center, and that's going to be a 20 by, this is going to be 30, 20 by 30. Create rectangle, center rectangle. And so this one, so blue highlighted is supposed to be 30, and then hit tab, and that would be 20. There you go. Zoom out a little bit. So if you know, I could actually see the dimensions on all of this here. Zoom out a little bit more. Um, let's see, there it is. Okay. So the next part, I'm going to do the big circle here, and then we're gonna actually no before I don't want to clutter it up too much. So this right here, so this arc over here, if you notice, it is attached here and here, but this white dot refers to, that's the center, that's the from the arc. So that is going to be giving me the radius from there to there. So that's the center of my circle. So if you notice, it goes up here, and that's going to be up, let me see, 5, and halfway to this is going to be 2.5, so it's going to be 7.5. So I'm going to start by putting a line so I could actually mark exactly where my center is. Go straight up, 7.5, enter. And I'm going to do the same thing for going the other direction too. Here, down, 7.5. And I'm going to end up deleting these lines here in a little bit, but I'm going to start off by using those. That endpoint is going to be the center of my circle I'm going to make. Oh, nope, wrong one. There we go. All right, and I'm going to take it up to that point right there, which it's going to lock in at 25. Hit enter. There you go. Now, there's a whole bunch of lines and all this other stuff right here. So I'm going to go through and clean this up real quick. I'm going to trim this outside, trim this outside, this. So now all I have left is this arc. There we go. So the trim feature is going to be helpful for a lot of things we're doing here. Let's do the next circle. Center here. Lock in at that corner. Radius, the highlighted blue is 25. And then go back and do trim. Outside, outside. And then we can get rid of there we go. So now we got rid of, now we still have that center right there. We still have the center so we can see where our center of the circle is supposed to be. I'm keeping that there. Next one's going to be the outer side, the outside circle. So it goes up to, let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this is going to have a diameter of 60. There we go. A diameter of 60. And let's take a look at my next part here. So if you notice, this goes, let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I'm going to put my rectangle over here at 25. So 25, let's see, I'm going to scroll up to this one right here so I can see the full thing. So now I'm going to do this part here. So starting at 25, I'm going to have a rectangle that is going to be, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. So this is up 40. So it's a 40 by 15 rectangle here. So right here, 5, 10, 15, 20. So I'm going to start my rectangle with the 2 point. So it should be a 40 by 15. I'm going to lock that in. All right, next one is right here. So I'm going to do a construction line for this, and that's going to be at 20. And I'm going to delete the line that we have here. I'm going to add a construction line here. So at 20, I'm going to do a line, and it's going to be a construction line. So it's going to go from right to the edge. I'm going to do it again. If you notice, I'm doing it from one side to the other side because I needed to lock in there. There we go. So now I have my construction line there. Let's trim this piece to try and get rid of some of my stuff here. And right here, see this curve? this curve right here is going in between the edge of this rectangle that I made and that dotted line, that construction line that I made. And that one right here has a center radius here, so this is a tangent arc. So I'm going to create an arc using a tangent arc. So touch there, and if you notice it showed, oh wait. So I'm going to do it again because I had the wrong type of line, arc, tangent arc, and I don't want construction. There we go. So now it worked there. Now I do it again over here, down there. Let's clean this up. That part of the line goes away. That part of the line should go away. Now let's see, let's do a arc on the bottom, tangent arc. Shouldn't have done that. What happened there? Let's see. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to put my construction line in between. There we go. So we have most of that already. So next one is going to be, I'm going to do this next one right here. So I'm going to do a rectangle. So I'm just going to count them off as rectangles now, because this, I'm going to edit this with different lines. So right now this is going to be a rectangle that is the full height of this one, which is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. So this is a 40 by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Start it here, go this way. So it's a 40 by 35. Ooh, I don't want that. I gotta turn off construction. There we go. And the next rectangle we have is going to be this part here. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 25 times 5 is 125. So it's going to be 20 by 125. I'm going to start here. If you notice, as I zoom in and out, my boxes change. So I can count it. I could actually zoom in enough so my boxes will just be ones. That automatically changes. So you could actually see the larger grid squares are fives. As I go out to this point right here, I could see smaller grids, which are ones. There we go. And so I'm going to adjust this one here in a minute. I'm going to get my other rectangle, which is going to happen over here. Now, this side is going to be another rectangle, but it's going to go up to here. So I'm just going to make this rectangle so you can see. This is going to be a 20 again by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So 20 by 50. Now I have the circle, which I'm going to take care of, that has a radius 5, 10, 15, 20. So it's going to have a diameter of 40. Put it right here at 40. Now we're going to connect my line. So I'm going to use the line function. I'm going to connect it from here to that point, here to that point. Now I could trim the pieces that I don't want now. I don't want that, 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 that. Now if you notice I got a little bit out here, so get rid of that. Come down here, do the same. That right there, so it goes straight out to that. I don't want that. I'm going to change that for a different type of line later on. Now I'm going to come in here, I'm going to do my line function, because here it was going straight down to there. So I'm going to take care of that. So line from this corner to that, this corner to that, and then do my trim. Get rid of that, 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 and get rid of that. So, and now from there, I could actually go through and do my construction lines, which were here, here, and over here. So, line again, change it to construction, pick my point all the way down, point all the way down, pick my point, go all the way down. There we go. Alright, so now looking at it here, we now have everything, and now it matches what we have here. Alright, that should be it. Make sure you all like, share, and subscribe. But before you finish, save. Now, go by the assignment name, which is a lever sketch, followed by full name. Save that, and then to turn it in, File, Export, export it as .stl. And that's what you're going to, no, wait, crap. F3D, sorry. I was getting too far ahead of myself. So F3D, save it as F3D. This is what you're going to turn in on Canvas.